Anyways,
I'll still start the same way. Hey, remember Dan and Clark?
This week, we sample some beers from our recent vacations. This is episode 111 of The Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's bees. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
How are you doing, Brandon?
Good, man.
We did the right thing. We didn't really catch up. We're going to get a little ketchup in here. What's new?
You brought ketchup?
I did.
Can we get ketchup here?
So last time we talked, you just got back from
Arizona.
Yep. You just got, and then I was leaving for Arkansas.
Correct.
Both took little trips.
Yep.
And we both happened to bring back some beers.
That we did.
And now Dan, he also has some beers from Michigan, but he wasn't able to join us tonight, so we're gonna do another one with him another time. And I think didn't we decide we're not gonna try everything tonight, obviously, right? We split this up a little bit.
God, no. I have 6 beers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're not drinking all of those. We already do enough on this show.
But I ran into Dan yesterday.
Did you knock him over when you ran into him?
His son has swim class at the same time as Benjamin now.
Oh, right.
Because we had moved classes or whatever, and we had gotten there and I didn't see him, so I was like, oh, maybe they're off today or they switched times. And then we were literally about to go into the pool, and I looked back and I saw his son, and so I told Benjamin, and Benjamin just like beelined it for him, like went up and like starts hugging him. I feel bad because Foster's like, what the hell? Who's touching me? It's like out of nowhere, Benjamin just comes rushing him. So I was talking to him, and he was like, this was like literally the only night of the week I can't record. And I'm like, well, this is the only night of the week I want to record.
Yeah, same here. We've got other stuff going on this week, and tonight was it. I would like to rest and relax tomorrow.
Yes, agreed.
Actually, by the time this comes out, we'd already gone to Beer Under Glass, so we're going to do a recap of that, I'm sure. And, it's the end. Well, as we're recording this, it's still Illinois Craft Beer Week, but looked like it was pretty good. I didn't get a chance to go and do a lot of things. Yeah. Unfortunately. You at least made it out to Old Irving.
I did. I forgot my damn passport. We were sitting there having dinner, and then all of a sudden I just felt like this knock on my shoulder, and I looked up, and it was Tim.
Oh, nice.
So I was talking to him and asking him if they were coming out to Bug, and he was, he's coming, Matthew's coming. Corey, I think he said. I think that might be one of the brewers.
Sweet. Yeah, I think so.
Because I think it wasn't. Whoa.
I'm having trouble connecting to you.
Great. Thanks, Alexa.
The help section in your Alexa app.
That's staying in, baby.
With all the random things to just decide to go off. I think Corey was. This was in January. Matthew was telling us, I want you to come by the brewery and meet one of the brewers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was Corey. And then I believe Trevor's going to be there as well. So
awesome. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure by the time this is out, we had a great time.
Yeah.
And ran into a whole bunch of people that have been on this show.
Yeah.
And
hopefully line up some more people.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, let's... You're pouring the first beer, right? Yep. So these are our vacation beers. Brandon's got some beers from Arizona. Thank you, sir. I've got some beers from Arkansas. You didn't get a chance to go to breweries. I did. It was raining one day while we were there, and so I actually got a chance to hit up 3 breweries. Super, super cool place, Bentonville, Arkansas. Got to hit up Bentonville Brewing, Bike Rack, and man... I don't think it's Side Project. It's something like that, but it's funny because that was, I felt, the coolest place. Oh, I've got it in front of me. Was I right? Social Project Brewing. Super cool place, and I'm really excited to talk about them and when we get to their beer and their place. Right. Brandon is not telling me what this is.
Just because I'm excited by what it is, and I want to see if you can guess right away, like not even the style, but the flavor profile. I'm sure you'll get the style, though.
Have you tried this already?
Nope. I've not tried any of these beers. So I think I mentioned this in the last Malted Mini. my trip, I did not drink at all.
Is this a margarita beer?
Close.
It's just a lime goza. Is there jalapeno in here?
I don't think so.
Sorry, I just did that. I made that one up.
So this beer is Salt River from Historic Brewing Company out of Flagstaff, Arizona. It is a salt and lime Arizona lager.
Ooh, all right. I was gonna lean on the goza sign because that's where my brain goes.
And it,
brain goes.
And it's teetering on that kind of like.
I can see the lager part though. But
yeah, I totally. But also the goziness is kind of.
The carbonation and hoppiness is what leans more towards lager than a goza.
Yeah,
goza. Is it goza or goza? I still don't know.
Goza.
Dan, Clark, why are you here? Why aren't you here to correct?
So on the can it says, "Close your eyes while sipping this beer, and you might think you've been transported to a beach in Mexico. Our oceanfront property lager is transformed by the addition of salt and lime, creating a refreshing getaway in a glass. 4.8%, 18 IBUs, 12 fluid ounces. Yeah, Flagstaff, Arizona.
It's very good.
Yeah,
This is my wheelhouse.
Yep.
Salt and lime is my favorite.
yeah. I saw this, and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, yeah, I think Tony will like this.
Totally. This is really good. So, where did you get these beers? Did you go to different places, or did you end up at one spot?
I went to one spot. I went to a Total Wine in Scottsdale, I think. And I chose. I mean, they have a huge single selection like area. You know, it's basically the equivalent. Like, it's like a Binny's on steroids. I think Total Wine carries a lot more stuff.
Okay.
And maybe more in like the wine and the bourbon and whiskey type stuff, but like the beer is like it's okay. But their selection of singles, they literally have an entire row of like, you know, seasonal stuff and just year round stuff that you can go in and just pull single bottles of.
So it didn't look like it was just old stuff they were trying to just get rid of because they had it.
Like that was like it was looked like that was there for a reason.
Oh, nice.
And I went through, and there was a lot of beers I turned down just because of the date code. Like, it wasn't that fresh. And some of them didn't have dates. Like, this one didn't have a date. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it.
You know, lagers are forgiving as long as they're not, hot. Stored warm, I should say. And having the lime and salt in there, I think that that helps it. If there's any maybe off flavors. But there's no off flavors in this whatsoever. This is delicious. I really like it. I would drink this all the time.
Yeah, I'm. Next time I go back, I mean, obviously this was in Flagstaff, so Flagstaff is quite a ways from the Phoenix area. Mm-hmm. But if I ever make my way to Flagstaff, it's on my map to check out.
Yeah, I would want to try and see if we could get some of this regardless. Any other way, ordering beer, whatever. Because it's really good. It's refreshing. It's like I said, the bitterness of the hops is what gave it away. You told me it was a lager, but had I really taken my time instead of just going, boom, it's a margarita beer.
But I mean, you nailed the salt and lime kind of. That's what they're going for.
Yeah, and I feel like they nailed that perfectly, and I think this beer could be enjoyed by everybody, literally everybody.
Like, super easy drinking.
Yeah,
I'm
almost. You and I are pretty much. Yeah, I'm saying you and I are pretty much done with this. How many limes? No, how many beachfront properties would you give this beer out of 5?
Are they on the American side or the Mexican side? Because I can only own those for 100 years in Mexico, and they're gone.
The Mexican side.
Okay, I'm going 4.1. Mm-hmm. Roughly.
I'm with you on there. I think like 4.1, 4.2.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that bitterness actually, the more I was drinking it, yes, the more it leans like towards like a lager. Like lagers aren't super hoppy, but it presents itself more like a lager because of the hoppiness in there. But it's a lager, so I can't really knock it. That's probably the only thing I wouldn't want more of is the hoppiness. But that's just personal preference. I would say 414.
Yeah,
not 414, but 41 or 4.
Yeah. Very well done.
414.
Super impressed with this beer. And
beachfront properties.
Yeah. I kind of wish it's one of those like, oh, man, that's one I really should have grabbed more of. I have a feeling there's several of the ones that I bought that I might be saying that. So
well, that's good.
We'll see.
I I got the chance to try. Excuse me, I'm already burping already. Most of the beers that, not most, but I got to try some beers from these breweries that I went to, and so I felt like because I tried those beers, I already had a good idea of like what these other beers were going to be like, and I feel like I was correct because I have tried all of the beers that we're going to have right now. And the first one is
Dun, 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 dun.
brewed in Bentonville, Arkansas. It's Social Project Brewing, and this beer is Western Sun. It's their West Coast IPA, 7.6 alcohol by volume. This one is dry hopped with Simcoe. The one that I had that they had on tap was dry hopped with Amarillo, I believe. So this is a rotating series for them.
So same base beer, different dry hop?
Yep.
Okay.
They switch up the hops, and that was pretty exciting. The Amarillo one that I had was really tasty. I really enjoyed it. And when I went up to the counter to buy beers, I was asking about a specific one because there was a margarita sour. There was a sour ale that they had that was like margarita inspired that was really good. And I was asking if they had that. And they didn't because it was a collaboration with somebody, and so they made enough to have on tap there and who they did the collaboration with. So the owner, Chris, suggested this for me because I said I like the Amarillo one. So he suggested this for me to take home, and I'd like to know what you think.
Is this the brewery that you said we might possibly have an interview with?
Yes, his card is in my wallet.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Don't lose it.
I won't. I'll probably just
Your
give it
wallet
to you.
or the card?
Or the other cards in my wallet because I'll be screwed. You're paying for my Metro ride Friday. What do you think, baby?
You like this beer? No, I'm joking.
No, be honest though.
It's... I'm trying to find the words. It's a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Like the carbonation, there's a carbonation bite like right at the end. Not a lot on the tongue, which is interesting. And then like the hoppiness of like just the beer itself is kind of smooth, but it finishes like with that carbonation hit. And there's like this bitter pop that comes right at the end. I'm like, that's a really good beer. I like it. Yeah. And I like the maltiness. I'm getting like some honey. I'm getting like some light biscuit, and it's just, I think that the honey is what I'm getting the most of. And then I just looked at the can. I'm like, are those bees on the can? Is there supposed to be like some honey essence to this? Like,
their logo is super cool. So that's their logo. It's like a bee. It's a hop with a bee with a hop body. A bee with a hot body. And I didn't get a chance. I mean, we hopefully we can talk to Chris about this. I didn't get a chance to really get into that with him. But yeah, I agree with you with this beer. I will say this. I liked the Amarillo one that I had on tap more.
Okay.
Could just be because it was a fresher batch and it was on tap and not in a can.
But have you not had the Simcoe one?
I have had this. I have had this already. But again, and I still feel the same way. But you, I think, hit the nail on the head with like the maltiness of this. Like there is a nice maltiness, like sweetness to it. The bitterness is in the back end, and it doesn't really like it pops. It pops, but it doesn't hit. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, there it is, but it's not something that's like boom, hitting you in the side of the tongue or the back of the mouth, and like.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
And so, and I don't want the brewery to take this as a knock at all. It's giving me very strong vibes of a lighter and slightly thinner bodied hop slam.
I doubt that they would take that
Yeah.
as a diss.
I didn't think so. No. But yeah, like, and I think that's
sure.
Because hop slam's got honey in it too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, hop slam does have. Does this have honey in it? Does it say it have honey in it?
I don't know.
I don't think it has honey, but there is a sweetness. I know you were saying like a honey in there. Is there any description on there? Sorry, I gave you
just a government warning.
Oh no! And I don't have my phone with me. It's charging over on my wireless charger over there on the other side of the studios, because my phone decided while I was on vacation it wanted to tell me that there was debris or moisture in my charging port, which there's not. So I had to go to Walmart. By the way, Bentonville is the home of Walmart. Museum and everything. So
there's a museum?
Yes, we didn't go. I will say this though. We did have to go to Walmart, the big super store version of it. It is a far cry from any Walmart I have ever been to or seen online.
Like in a good way.
Absolutely. It was like it looked like a Walmart, but it was very clean. It was very nice. It was just, I don't know. It was wild. It was pretty crazy to be in there, because I don't go to Walmart. I'm not a big Walmart shopper these days. Not
a knock at Walmart, but
yeah.
You don't go there.
Yeah. But yeah, I tried to, when I went to these breweries, I wanted to try a bunch of different things. In fact, the first beer that I tried from them, and I think I texted you, I saw that they had this strawberry wheat ale that was 100% recipe was AI generated.
Okay.
So they didn't do anything. They just put it in. I think they had to scale it when I was talking to Chris about it. And that was a damn good beer. It was really tasty, nice strawberry on it. It was nice, medium body, good like wheat ale, medium to light body. But the actual like strawberry flavor in it was fantastic, and their margarita sour was really good.
So I tried to look up the beer, and I got to their website. They currently have this version on tap. And there is a description. It says, an Amarillo West Coast IPA with an additional rotating dry hop, this time with Simcoe. This beer is dank, bitter, and juicy with a crisp, clean finish. This crushable IPA has hints of citrus, orange zest, stone fruit, and a little bit of pine.
So the one I had was just straight Amarillo.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any other, there wasn't a different hop in there. But yeah, I think that's a good description. When I was talking with Chris, the owner, I mentioned, they had a really nice selection. They had pale ale, hazy, IPA, and then there were a couple sours. I think there was milkshake IPA. There was a lager and a coffee stout and was it coffee stout or a milk stout or maybe both.
I'm seeing a coffee stout on there.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the menu, they had a nice selection. And I told them, they covered a lot of. It reminded me of Howard Street. Here in Chicago, how they kind of covered a bunch of different styles and not just kind of pigeonholing themselves into just being an IPA bar or a stout bar or a sour bar. But it was cool to see they had 2 or 3 sours, and the one that I had, I really wanted to bring that back. Even Laura liked it. She tried it, and she was not into drinking beers on this trip. It was just me drinking beers on my own.
So there is a Welcome to the Jungle sour, fruited Berliner Weiss.
What is that? What's in? Does it say what's in there?
It's another entry to our tropical sour lineup. This sour is jam-packed with passion fruit, orange, and guava.
Yeah, that one was on tap while I was there.
They also have Riptide.
Which one's that?
We loaded this with sour with more fruit than ever. Coconut, pineapple, and mango.
Yeah, that one sounded good. They have a creamsicle one coming out soon.
As It Was, another fruited sour. Peaches, pineapple, and papaya.
Yeah, so they were going big on the sours. It's a really cool place. It was nice. It's a nice spot. We were there Friday in the middle of the day after going to Bentonville Brewing. So another very cool spot. If you had to rate this out of 5 hop bees, how many hop bees would you give this?
I'm going 3.9.
I like that. Yeah, I think I would. I'm gonna meet you around there. 3.9, 4. Mm-hmm. I like it. I don't. For me, overall, as it being a good beer, I don't know if I'd necessarily reach for this one as a West Coast IPA, what I want. Mm-hmm. I feel like my brain is already, focused, wired into what I want from a West Coast IPA. Yeah. I like a lot more, bitterness forward with my West Coast IPAs, but this is definitely not a hazy. It's not, it's good. I think it's a solid beer overall. But for me personally, I'm with you on that. 3.9, 4.
How come there's no Midwest IPA, or is there?
I thought there was. Someone's done a Midwest IPA. Someone has, and I don't know.
Just
who.
an IPA.
And what makes it a Midwest IPA?
You want to call yours East Coast? You want to call yours West Coast?
Hey,
fuck it,
we got a Midwest. Well, there's Midwest Hero, if I'm not mistaken, from Revolution. I think there's a Midwest Hero.
Oh yeah,
I think it's the closest we get to a Midwest IPA. But I'm almost positive, and someone can correct us on this. All the people that constantly listen, that say, feel free to correct us and send us some info if you hear something that we ask a question about. We could use it.
This is completely fucked up, and it is no way to mean that he is any type of hero of mine. But when he said this is a Midwest hero, first thing that came into my head, I was like, what would the logo of the can look like? I just imagined like a cartoon version of Mayor Daley, like the old Mayor Daley, like he'd want to be the Midwest hero. And
there he is. I mean, for a while he was here in Chicago. He was that Midwest hero.
Yeah.
But, corruption. I think two really good first entries here in vacation beers. I like it. Yeah, nice. It'll be nice. It'll be interesting to see what we go with next. No, you're gonna have to wait till after the break. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoy the quick little break. We are drinking our vacation away. No, we're drinking beers that we got from our 2 trips that we took. Brandon to Arizona, me to Arkansas. And first 2 beers were pretty good. I liked them. I think they were both nice introductions to what those places had on. That's terrible. They were just good beers, man. They were just good beers.
Yeah. I feel bad because you have, I mean, not that you have like these riveting stories behind the beers, but you can talk about like you visited the brewery and like what your experience kind of was.
Social Project was the only one I really have stories about.
Okay.
Bentonville was cool. Bentonville Brewing was cool. Went there. I had a barrel aged stout, and then I talked to the bartender and I asked her what 2 beers do you suggest I should get. Grabbed them, and then Bike Rack was cool. That was another cool place that I had another barrel aged stout sampler, but I also tried their hazy IPA, which was very good. And that's when it started raining more when I was outside just hanging out. I later then found out the next day that the festival we were going to was right next door to where I was at Bike Rack. So I was like, oh, that's cool. All right, here we have, oh geez, Low Hazy IPA, a local hazy IPA. I don't know who it's. Do you know who's this from? I can't tell. I don't have my reading glasses. You know what? I'm going to hand this back over to you. Maybe you can figure it out. But I was pretty excited when you had told me that it was a.
Yeah, my internet just went out.
Oh, cool. As Alexa had told us.
Huss Brewing Company.
So this is a low-calorie, 109-calorie hazy IPA.
And the description says, our low-calorie hazy IPA showcasing a ton of fruit on the nose with candied pineapple, melon, tangerine, and peach notes in this invigorating light brew. Pale yellow in color with a crisp and delicious finish. A perfect blend of Idaho 7, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops, making this a hophead's dream without the guilt.
Nice.
So, first thoughts?
Aroma-wise, is there a date stamp on this one by any chance? Just out of curiosity. Oh, it changes it.
April 6th.
Yeah, so that checks out. Because I was going to say, this doesn't smell like it's an old beer. Because some hazy IPAs, and I would imagine that some like low calorie ones might even be harder. I don't know. I mean, depending on like how they brew it, I have no idea how you do that. The aroma, it's a little, it's fruity
And musty to me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't want to say skunky, but musty I think is a better way to describe that. It's not off-putting, but there's a mosaic in this.
I believe so. Ooh, yes.
There's that kind of soapiness that people get sometimes from mosaic. I get in the aroma. It's not bad, not off-putting, but it's not like a hazy IPA. When I go and smell like regular hazy IPAs, you get that nice like fruity, straight like. Even my wife, who most beers when I have her like, oh, smell this, taste this, she's like, tastes like beer, smells like beer. Hazy IPA is like Hot Butcher stuff and Phase 3 type beers like that I have her smell. Like she's like, that smells like orange juice. That smells like, papaya. Not papaya, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Like she can name specific fruits or it smells like juice. This musty is a good word. Musty, soapy, a little fruity. Taste wise, I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of tastes like the aftertaste in my mouth is, and this is going to sound like a negative thing, but I mean this as a very positive descriptor. Like a watered down orange juice aftertaste in my mouth, where it's not like a full orange juice aftertaste in my mouth, but it's like, as Dan would say, an aqueous type aftertaste of like orange juice in my mouth, which I think is awesome for this being a hazy IPA.
Yeah, like imagine you're some kind of psychopath and you drink your orange juice with ice.
Right.
And the ice is now melted and it's left cloudy in the bottom.
Sitting on the balcony.
Yep.
On a hot day, just shorts and a towel wrapped around your neck, and you're like, I'm going to have this orange juice with ice cubes in it. So I'm a fucking weirdo. Yeah, I can
get behind that if it's really fucking hot out. Yeah.
I was kind of picturing like American Psycho type deal there with Christian Bale, like as if he was sitting there drinking orange juice with ice cubes in it. It's really nice. I mean, for what it is, as a low calorie hazy IPA. Now, again, calling it a hazy IPA, is there a haze to it? Yes, but it's like a straw. It looks like a wheat beer. It's not hazy. It's not there's a haze to it, but I small rant here. Here we go. When I check in a beer on Untapped, and when you check in like is it actual like flavor profile on it or like descriptors of it? Like hazy always comes up, and I don't really think of hazy as, I don't know, like there's like barrel aged and there's like grape and there's musty and there's thin, there's like body types and everything.
Yeah.
But there's never like, there's clean. I don't know if clear is an option on Untapped, but hazy seems to be an option. I never want to use that as an option to describe a beer, like as far as like what I enjoy about it. Yeah.
That's what water is.
Exactly. It tastes like watered down. That looks like watered down orange juice. But it looks like a wheat beer. Like a little cloudiness to it. Pale straw color, yellow. It looks like maybe my first attempt at like, doing a hazy without trying to do it, with doing it incorrectly, basically.
Yeah. But it's funny. So this is low cal.
Yeah.
It's 109 calories. It says on there. Then it's like, God, what are the other ones? Probably like 200 or 300 calories.
Yeah. This is. I mean, this is. You know what this reminds me of? A really good non-alcoholic hazy beer.
Yeah.
Like a better version of Sam Adams Wicked Hazy is really good. That's hard to compare because that's juicy.
Yeah.
Like that is like
the Wicked Hazy. Or
the Wicked.
Just the haze.
Just the haze. Yeah, just the haze. Not Wicked. Wicked Hazy is an actual
beer.
Yeah. Just the haze is really good. That's like super juicy. But this, it kind of drinks like a non-alcoholic beer, which again is not a knock. It's like a good non-alcoholic beer almost. And I like the low calorie aspect of it. Like this would be a nice beer to have at home. Like if I wanted a low calorie option for hazy IPA and it was available, I'd drink this all the time.
Yeah, this is like the keep it in the fridge when you're out grilling or something, or like when you have the block party and you're
boom, exactly what I was thinking.
So they're drinking by the grill all day,
fucking 4 hours, and then when I'm done, I'm like I'm wasted.
Yeah.
because people come up to me and like, you need a drink? You need a drink? And I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine.
And then if you get guys like Ron coming up, it's like, you want to try this barrel-aged beer?
Sure, sounds great. Let's do it. Yeah, because, I'm just cooking 1,000 hamburgers at once. No problem.
Who cares that it's 95 degrees outside?
And I'm sweating and I'm dying.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, the siding on my garage is melting. You can see the form of the grill when I flip it open, and the thermometer is now embedded into there, even though it wasn't touching the grill. So that's how the block party kind of goes. That's a true story. You can see the circular imprint.
That's
on
kind of
my...
funny.
And it's not from touching it. It's just from the heat radiating off of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, no, that would be a great, this would be a great type of beer for something like that.
I'm surprised that, like, my neighbors, well, technically, I guess that's our fence, but, like, there's a wooden fence that my grill is, I mean, I keep it, like, a foot
not
and a
up
half.
against it,
No.
yeah.
But, like, there's been some nights that I've gone to burn off, like, the stuff on the grill, and I'll, like, crank it up to 500 degrees, and then I'll forget about it.
Whoops.
And then I'll come out the next day to grill, I'm like, well, I'm out of gas. And I'm like, oh, why are all the burners still on? I was like, oh, yeah, I was going to clean it.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's clean now, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, this thing has been sterilized.
Yeah, see, that would be a good beer to drink in times like that, so you don't forget that you're cleaning your fucking grill.
Oh, no. Like, I do that when I'm sober.
No, I believe it. But I'm saying, maybe if you're drinking this, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I should get back out there, because you're maybe more alert. Because you're like, you need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm having beers.
Yep. So what I was going to say is, so Huss Brewing is, they've got 2 locations that I can see from their website. They've got a tap room and kitchen, I guess, in Phoenix, and then I'm assuming probably their main brewing location in Tempe.
All right.
But it looks like they also have a tap room there too. So
Right on.
excuse me.
This is really good. Really good. Good choice, man. Very good choice.
I thought it was a good follow up to the
West Coast?
the social project.
Yeah. I think so too. I think I like where we're at with this. We did the lime and salt lager, then we did a West Coast IPA. Oh geez, so burpy.
We jumped up an ABV and brought it right back down with the ABV.
I mean,
Kept the style the same though.
where do we go next?
Yeah, I mean, that's
have an idea.
Yeah, I'm still super interested though. Like I love the idea of this, like these locale like hazy IPAs.
Yeah.
And if more people want to jump on that bandwagon, I'm all for it. Like,
There's a bit more flavor. There's something with locale and sessionable hazy IPAs, and they're done right. There's something that's more interesting in having those instead of like, session IPAs. I feel like sometimes session IPAs, like they're still trying to pull off an IPA, but an IPA, there's like a sweetness to it and there's a bitterness to it. And with doing a low-cal IPA, it's kind of tough because you lose the sweetness, but they try to get it, and then you end up with like sometimes hop bombs or something that's fruity but not fruity in the right way that you want. And I feel like the hazy idea makes a lot of sense for a low-calorie beer. The only one, God, what is it? Dogfish Head has one. What is the name of it? Low-cal something. It's an IPA that I believe they sweeten with monk fruit sugar.
oh yes.
That is a sessionable IPA. That is the closest thing I've had for a low-calorie IPA where I was like, okay, this I can get behind, because it almost feels like its own thing. Like, it doesn't feel like it's trying to be an IPA. It feels like it's, or a low-calorie IPA. It feels like it's trying to be, this is a type of beer. This is a style.
I believe you're talking about Slightly Mighty.
Thank you. Slightly Mighty, a low-cal IPA.
Yep.
And I think it's like 90 calories in there.
Something like that. But I'm just reading their notes. Pineapple, coconut, and citrus. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's very good. That's also another good one to have.
I don't think I've had that, but it sounds lovely.
It's a runner's beer,
Oh, I can see that. Run while you drink that.
Out of 5 calories, how many calories would you give this one?
Ooh man, if I was just going, I'd give it all 5 calories. Could have them all. Dude, I really enjoyed this. 4.2, 4.3.
I'm right there with you. I agree. I feel like for the style and the type of beer that this is, this nails it. This hits it perfectly. It's really good. It's really tasty. Again, another beer that I wish you had more of.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just have to take a trip to Phoenix.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the other beer.
All right, so Tony's grabbing our next entry into the Thunderdome.
R.I.P. Tina Turner.
Aww.
We don't need another hero. This one.
How old was she?
83 years old.
Ah, she looked great.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if it, like, I know she wasn't in her 60s, but I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, good life.
yeah.
Except for Ike.
But that's like,
Fuck Ike. Turner.
well, yeah, but like at that age too, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm old, I can go, but then I'm like, you got money, man. Like you can just enjoy doing nothing.
Yeah, you enjoy being Tina Turner, baby.
But then again, like if I had that much money and like it was just me, get like 75, would just be like, I wonder what blow's like. Like, try to go out and go. I was listening to.
I'll tell you this: there's never a time to be like, I wonder what blow is like in your life.
Well, it was.
Don't do it.
I was listening to a Howard Stern clip today, and they were somebody was called in and was telling him how it was a bad idea for him to be giving his grandmother like McDonald's. Like, oh, McDonald's is just bad. She shouldn't be eating it. He goes, my mother's 96 years old.
Yeah.
She wasn't eating at all. She's like, so if I can get calories in her, whether it's a bar of chocolate or this or that, like, you know, like they go to Nathan's Hot Dogs and eat Nathan's Hot Dogs, like, you know, because his dad had just died, and this was like a clip from last summer, so they were talking about all of this, and he's like, I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, you're 96 years old. Become an alcoholic, like, because she won't drink, you won't do this. He's like, drink. Try out more. You know, get addicted to morphine or something. He's like, I don't know. Just have fun.
Yeah,
Go out
enjoy
with a
it.
bang.
Yeah, I mean, really, at that point, and to that, like when my
I'm not
mom
advocating anybody doing any of that shit.
when my mom was really sick recently, when she got out of the hospital, the only thing that would because she had such dry mouth, the only thing that she was able to eat was pudding and ice cream for 2 days.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, and I was like, it's something.
like when you get your tonsils out.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, it's like, well, those are calories. Like, that's not what she's going to eat for the rest of her life, but it was the only thing that she can get into her mouth and eat and enjoy. Yeah. And it didn't hurt her mouth, so I didn't knock it. Anyway.
Speaking of, like, I mean, morbid stuff, like when my mom was sick, like on her, like, one of her last day, somebody in the room just said, like, where does she keep her medical marijuana? I was like, what? Really?
Just curious. Just need to know.
It's upstairs in the sock drawer, but come on!
Give it some time. All right, moving on to the fourth beer. This is from Bentonville Brewing. This was the first brewery that I went to. Really cool spot. Huge building. Almost looked like a factory of some sort on the outside, or like a big office building. And they have like 3 food trucks there all the time. That was another big thing that was a part of the Bentonville breweries. Food trucks were everywhere. Like it was really cool. We didn't end up eating at any of them. What did we eat? I made dinner that night. Did I? What did I make? Oh man, I don't remember. It was only last week. Anyway, Bentonville was the first stop, and the first thing I saw was that they had a barrel-aged beer, so I tried their barrel-aged beer, which was really good, which we do have. I don't know if we're having that tonight, but we will have it. But yeah, so here we go. This is handcrafted in Arkansas, Bentonville Brewing. This is their salted cherry sour ale. This is recommended to me by the bartender. I did have a little sampler of this. So here we go. This beer was brewed with all of our favorite things about summer in mind. Warm weather, fruity and fresh flavors, and crisp cold beverages.
And salt.
And salt when you're sweating and it drips into your mouth because you're working in the yard and you can't help but just gets on your lips.
Such a familiar flavor.
So, what do you think about this one, Brandon?
Fucking heartburn, man.
Yeah, there was the first sip was heartburn.
But that is good. And it's a lot more tart than I was expecting it to be. I went in for the smell, and I could tell it was going to be tart. But what I really enjoy is I feel like that salt is doing such a great job of making, like, the cherry pop. And all of that, like, the juiciness is just coming through. Like, my mouth is still watering after taking a sip. Like,
totally.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
When I saw salted cherry sour, I was like, what the fuck?
Now you're just making shit up, guys.
Yeah, like, why are we throwing salt in this? But then I tried it, and I was like, oh, this works. Because it's not like a huge saltiness to it. It's not like a salt and lime type beer.
Yeah.
It's just a hint. There's a hint of saltiness to it. And that sourness, that cherry sour, there's a bit of a bite, going down the old esophagi here. But it isn't like, it's not constant. Like my second sip, I didn't have it. First sip, I did. I bet you if I go back in now, I probably will feel it.
Yeah.
There is a big acidity to it. I don't know what makes it sour. I don't know if it's a kettle sour. I'm assuming it's probably a kettle sour because they're not mentioning anything else about how they soured it. Like, any bacteria or different yeast strains they use, like Brettanomyces or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have to imagine it's probably a kettle sour, especially because it's fruited and there's some salt. And it seems to be the easiest way to sour a beer. I mean, I can fucking do it. So I've done a sour cherry. But this was really nice. This was the last beer that I tried from them. It was the first brewery I went to. Last beer I got to try. I got a little sampler of it. And because I knew when I had the barrel-aged stout, when I tried it, I really impressed, really liked it. And I knew I was going to grab a 4-pack of that to bring back for us to try. And when she recommended this, I said, you got it. That's the one. So instead of getting anything normal from them, I had a barrel-aged stout and a salted cherry sour. Now, when we went to the Fresh Grass Festival on Saturday to go see Camp and Mavis Staples, I got to try 2 more beers from them. One was was one a pale ale or a lager? I remember I did eat an edible at that show.
Oh, I'll do it.
This was right before I took the edible, but I don't remember what kind of beer it was. I've checked it in, but my phone, again, is not by me.
And you erased all of your memory.
I remember nothing. But the second beer I had from them, I think it was called Space Goose, which was just their IPA, and that was fucking delicious. Like, I don't know why. I knew I had like a 10-hour drive ahead of me heading back to Chicago on Sunday, that I didn't even think to like stop someplace to see if I can find the Space Goose IPA or Goose Space or something like that. It was really, really good. I had that in a Kolsch from somebody else. I don't know if that was Bentonville, but both of those beers were really good.
So the other one you had was Art Maker IPA.
It was an IPA. Apparently it's no longer in production, which was weird because it was available at the fest. So I don't know if they made it for this place called The Momentary, which is a super cool outdoor concert venue, which in October, one night Wilco will be playing, and then the next night Wu-Tang's playing. So I don't have vacation time to do it, but I would love to go and do that. But Bentonville Brewing was awesome. They had some really, really tasty beers from the ones I got to try. And apparently, like Bentonville Brewing, obviously being in Bentonville, they seem to be maybe the first one or the biggest one there because it was just readily available. And Space Goose was awesome, and this, to me, was also very, very good. I still have the other 3 cans in my... so I'm going to say, I mean... This isn't a beer that I'm going to go back to and be like, oh man, I'm going to drink this by my own, because of you and I in particular mentioning heartburn. I don't think, not everybody's going to get it like we do.
Yeah.
It is, though, acidic.
Oh yeah.
There is that tartness to it. So, but I feel like it's a good beer to like have around to share with other people. Like, it would take me a while to finish a whole one of these.
Yeah. You know where I kind of put this though? If New Glarus did a beer, kind of like took one of their cherry beers and kind of soured it and salted it, like,
yeah, that, and that's the other thing I was going to say too. It's not a fake cherry flavor.
Yeah,
it's a real nice cherry flavor. It has that. It's funny that you said New Glarus. It doesn't have like that Jolly Rancher cherry flavor that Wisconsin Belgian Red from New Glarus has, but it does have like a real nice cherry flavor. It does not taste like cough syrup. It's not fake. It's
yeah,
very
and it's got
nice.
the same, like, the color is similar to all of those.
Yeah,
like,
to the
New
Wisconsin
Glarus
Belgian
beers,
Red. Yeah, even like being able to see under the beer where the head's kind of floating, there's like the white foam, but then there's like this pinkish hue to it as well. That kind of.
What's the other one that did? Oh, Cascade Brewing,
which I still have. I still have the 2016.
Oh,
do I just wait now? Like we were talking about waiting for beers to be 10 years old.
might as well.
I mean, we'll do a 10-year-old beer episode. Although I don't think both.
I mean, what have we doing? Got the goose that what are we gonna say go for 20 years on it?
Yeah, because you're at 10 now. Oof. All right, let's crack it open now. Fuck vacation beers. We're drinking it tonight. It's gonna be crazy. It's Wednesday for us.
Yeah, if we're not doing this show anymore, we'll come out of retirement just to drink that.
Just
beer.
to drink. Yeah, exactly. We'll do one special episode just for that. All right. How many cherry pits you giving this one?
I'm 4, 5.
Dude,
Maybe
we
a
are
little higher.
We are on the same fucking page with all these beers tonight. I am with you. I was gonna say 4, 5.
You're really fucking tasty, man.
Yeah, it's really good. And as I'm sipping it more, It's funny that you said, again, Wisconsin Belgian Red from New Glarus. That's what I'm getting.
Yep.
A little bit more of that. Still getting that little touch of heartburn, though.
Yeah.
But that's me. It's not going to affect everybody that same way. So Bentonville, doing it right.
Good job, guys.
And Bentonville Brewing. Those two. Those are very good. Very good beers. I like those. Where are we at on time? What are we looking at here?
About 43.
43. We should probably do
12 more beers.
Do we do another beer? Do we just say, hey, it's fucking Memorial Day? Who's listening to this on Memorial Day? I don't know. If you guys are, that's great. Thank you so much.
Maybe Pat.
Yeah, Pat. Maybe Joe.
Yeah. Do you want to do that last one?
So I've got 2 in there.
Well, the can that's sitting out.
Yeah, let's do that because that's also from Bentonville Brewing.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm excited about this. I have had this twice now because I had it at the brewery and I had it once after the concert that we were at. We saw Camp, like I said, in Mavis Staples. A lot of fun. Came home after the concert. We were only 7 minutes away, which was really nice to be able to leave a concert. That was the other thing, too. The exit of it was awesome. It was quick. It was easy. By the time we left the show, we were home in 7 minutes, and then I ordered pizza from Marco's. Are you guys familiar with Marco's Pizza? I don't know where you guys or anybody you're from listening to this. Let me tell you this. It was 10:30 at night. They closed at 11. I ordered Marco's Pizza. I ordered the little chicken things and their little brownie thing because, like I said, I had an edible and I had a couple beers. Excuse me. That pizza was garbage. I did not like it. It was awful, and it could just be because of the time of night it was.
I feel like I've seen ads here for Marco's Pizza, but I've never actually seen a Marco's Pizza.
Well, don't look for it. Also, their chicken things that were $8, they look like these big, fat, plump chicken things. They were small-ass little popcorn 8-piece or 6-piece chicken popcorn chicken pieces that were not good. And the brownie thing was just like fucking, like if you can make brownies with just Hershey syrup, that's what that was. So it was a big letdown. Now, I did eat 4 of those pieces of pizza.
Pizza's like sex. Even when it's bad, still okay.
And we were watching Black Sheep.
Oh, bonus.
So, I mean, that's how the night ended for us. Went to a concert, I had an edible, drank a couple beers, cracked this open while I was waiting for the pizza, and then,
minus the edible, it sounds like how when he did the beer, bacon, and cheese festival.
I was just thinking about that.
Twice in a row, 2 nights in a row, we ordered pizza.
Man, I will say, I mean, we did have a lot of cool trips last year and did a lot of fun things, but in hindsight, I almost really liked beer, bacon, and cheese just because of, it was a trek for us, but was it really? Not really.
Yeah.
Not that far, and we had so much fun. Yeah. That was so much fun. Anyway, Brandon, take your sip. Oh, did you sip it yet?
No.
Yeah, I went in for the smell.
Giving it a smell.
Why don't you go with the smell? Why don't you tell people what it smells like first, and then we can see if we can describe
Smells
it.
like a barrel-aged stout.
It smells like barrel to me. Like bourbon and wood.
Wood.
I like going back when I edit this, and I like to listen to our breathing and ASMR stuff.
It smells really, really luscious.
This is the perfect temperature for it. I feel
Hear the sound of my voice.
What's happening?
Yeah, I'm getting chocolate on the nose too. So first I was getting like burnt barrel, hint of like bourbon whiskey, and now I'm getting some like dark chocolate, and I like it. I haven't tasted it yet, so now
Give it a sip, baby. So when I had this, the first time I had it was ice cold. Second time I had it, well, actually, the first time I had it, it was cool.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
There we go. First time I had it, it was cold. Because it was poured on tap from a brewery. It was
Put it
kind of
back.
muggy outside.
Close the beer.
Then the second time I had it, it was ice cold because I pulled it out of the fucking fridge after a concert, and I was like, I'm gonna drink a barrel-aged stout because I'm a moron.
I'm a winner.
And I'm gonna drive 10 hours the next day. And I did. I woke up and I drove straight through with only 2 stops, baby. What do you think of the taste?
I like it a lot, actually. It reminds me of a beer that I've had before.
Interesting.
I can't put my nose on it, but really kind of it's not super thick.
Yeah.
But it's coating really well in my mouth. It's like my lips are sticky now already.
It's a sticky beer. It's a light cola color.
I'm getting like slight hints of maple, I feel like.
Interesting.
and I get this with a lot of stuff. I feel like I'm getting some like toasted coconut essence in there, but no like crazy adjuncts.
It's a non-adjuncted imperial stout.
Yeah, like chocolate, maybe a little coffee bitterness, but that barrel is pretty present in the taste too. But like more on the burnt side of the barrel, but not in a bad way. And then some like lingering bourbon hints, but like, yeah, the way it tastes surprises me how thin the body is. And I feel like we've had a few of those beers in the past where, like, once you take that sip, you're like, well, shit, like, that's not what I was expecting, and that wasn't what I was expecting. But yeah, super good. I like it.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm having it close to room temperature. And I'm getting a little burntness. Not a lot, not bitter burnt, though. Like a little smoky cocoa type deal. I'm getting a lot of vanilla in there, like bourbon vanilla, not vanilla like vanilla bean, but like, you know how bourbon in barrels there's like a vanilla type flavor. I'm getting that. It's not boozy, but after drinking this, if I go up to my wife and say hi and good night, she's gonna be like, you fucking smell like booze.
Good night.
And it's not because of other beers that I had, but this beer, like, it's not hot either. I think it's a really nice
Notes.
There we go. Really nice barrel aged beer.
Where darkness grows wild, if you are brave enough to delve such depths.
Yeah, what's the name of the beer? We didn't even say that.
Deliverance.
Right? Yep.
A torrent of roasted goodness intrigues the brave of heart, and notes of dark chocolate and oak entice the same.
Entice the what? Entice the what?
Entice the same.
Oh, the same. Sorry.
Entices the same.
Entice the same. Sorry.
But, see, it ruins my fucking monologue.
Try it again.
A torrent of roasted goodness intrigues the brave of heart, and notes of dark chocolate and oak entices the same.
I got it.
But what heat when attempting to conquer such livid libations? I'm going to pretend like I know what that means.
Yeah.
Aged for 12 months in Kentucky bourbon barrels, descend and find your deliverance. So I was right. So the dark chocolate I'm definitely getting in that oakiness is coming through. So.
Yeah, I feel like those are the two things, and then I get a little bit of vanilla. But what's the ABV on this? Is it 13?
The can does not divulge that information. Yes, it does. 12.5%.
12.5. All right. Yeah. So this is,
Child's play.
Yeah, exactly. For some of the barrel-aged stouts, it's really nice. It's really good. The other barrel-aged stout I had was at Bike Rack. We are not trying a Bike Rack beer tonight. We will try it next time because I've got one more beer when we do our vacation beers again. They had a barrel-aged stout that was really good, and it had toasted coconut with it. I got you and I a crowler of just the base barrel-aged stout.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
we should probably drink that soon because it's a crowler, so I'm not sure how long
Just
it's
like
going
my
to last.
year and some month little crowler of Shamrock Shake.
Yep.
And then my other one from this year, which I don't know where it is now.
It's in there.
Yeah, probably.
I saw it. I went digging around in
The
there.
new one is in there?
From that's in there. You
The
have
other
two.
one's at the very bottom, I think.
There's two Shamrock Shakes in there, but you also have one from Dry Hop that is probably flat by now, just so you know.
Oh, but it wasn't a crowler, right?
No, it was a growler. Or crowler. Yeah, it was a crowler. The can from Dry Hop, the Malort.
Oh, yeah.
Pale Ale. That's
Yeah, I
probably
forgot
because
about
when
that.
I had it a week after it was getting real flat. So
I forgot about it.
that's all right.
Sorry,
We'll
Joe.
put it in your 1 gallon keg, carbonate it,
Oh, yeah.
throw it on tap.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of my 1 gallon keg, so remember when I attempted that thing with the margarita?
Delicious.
But it didn't work because that tube never reaches, the tube
Oh,
just
yeah.
floats. So I was Googling online just like what people have done. And there's,
What they do is they don't keg margaritas.
well, that too. Well, no, but like anything you put in there is just, it's going to float. So the thing I read was the if you go to Home Depot and there's some, I forget the exact size of flex pipe, but it fits right on the bottom of there. And you just
nice.
screw that
Oh, and so
out,
it goes-
and it's just a straight tube straight down.
Oh, nice.
And then just, it's
Perfect.
food safe and like whatever. So I gotta make it to Home Depot and pick that up, and then it'll solve me problems.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we'll have margaritas this year on tap.
Well,
at the
whatever you want to put in there.
whatever you want to keep cool, Tom.
6-pack of soda,
Candy
candy
bars.
bars in the freezer.
Oh, good. You have a window with an office. Why not? You've been here 5 minutes. Yeah, overall, I really like this beer, and I'm glad I got to bring it back. It felt good to. I take trips every now and then, but they're not always like buy beer trips and come back. It's normally like flying, and so this is one of the driving trips that I got to do, and I specifically set out to. I wanted to hit up a couple breweries and check them out, and Laura was awesome to come with me to 2 out of the 3. After the second one, she's like, kind of just want to go home, and because it was rainy that day, and she just wanted to chill, so that's when I went to Bike Rack. And Bike Rack, I've got a peach Hefeweizen that we're gonna try the next time we do our vacation beers.
Yeah, it's funny because most of the time when I travel, I try to plan. Like I use a small bag. I try to plan to leave enough room for beer to come back. I bought way more beer than I was intending to. I bought like 12 bottles, I think.
Oh shit!
Close to it. No.
And you brought me this bottle of rye whiskey, Sacred Stave Arizona Rye Whiskey from Santan Spirits, handmade, 90 proof.
So I had that all of that was in my bag. And
where were your clothes?
Well, so I just put like a pair of shorts and something else into Benjamin's bag. We had a washer and dryer, so it was all clean clothes.
Oh, nice.
Put it over in his bag. And anyway, she's like, "You're gonna be overweight," and I'm like, "I am." She's like, "No, your bag's gonna be overweight." I'm like, "No, it'll be fine." I lifted it up. I'm like, "It's not." And then she had her big bag, and she's like, "Mine's probably overweight." I lifted it up. I'm like, "I'm not." She's like, "You can't tell." I'm like, "They're both about 35 pounds." She's like, "No." We got there, put them both on the scale. Both were like almost 35 pounds exactly. And I was like, I told you, underweight.
Kind of a big deal, honey. This is what I do. I can weigh things with my arms. I'm Brandon.
I traveled a lot. Like,
that's true. Actually, I'd say that makes sense.
And
that's like me with lifting boxes in the warehouse. I can tell you probably where we're at with weight in boxes.
Yeah, we didn't bring it, but I have to remember to bring it next time. Becca's parents had gotten us luggage scales, like handheld luggage
That's
scales.
awesome.
And we always forget to bring them. We always forget to use them before we go on vacation too. But also, if you're flying out of Midway,
here we go. Brandon's rant.
Just so happen to be flying Southwest Airlines, which conveniently now flies out of O'Hare. Fucking do not fly Spirit Airlines out of O'Hare.
That. Ever.
When we went, it was fine.
It was okay.
So here's why it's different now. So there's an expansion now to that whole terminal that goes, literally, I think I tracked it on my watch. It's like 3/4 of a mile walk.
Wow.
From like when you get past security to where the Southwest gates are at the very end.
So Southwest, not Spirit.
Yes,
you said Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
You always said Southwest and then you said Spirit.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry. Southwest I'm okay with. Spirit, fuck that.
Yeah, Spirit, well, yeah, fuck Spirit. But yeah, Southwest, do not fly Southwest out of O'Hare unless for some reason you know that they're going to be in a different terminal for some magical reason or a gate that is not in the 40s. If it's in the 40s, I'm sorry. Like,
get there early.
Well, yeah, there's no walkways. Well, there's 2 walkways that go towards the gates. But when you're coming back, dude, when we came back from Arizona, it was like treacherous.
Well, you also had your son with you, which probably didn't help.
Yeah. Going there, he was fine.
Well, I'm saying, like, in general, he's fine, but you also have, a kid to look after and make sure, like, okay, come on, let's go. But slow down, or don't go with that stranger.
Somebody else that I know she used to be a bartender at Fishman's. She posted on Facebook, she just came in to go meet her granddaughter for the first time in Chicago. She lives out in the Phoenix area. Apparently, she flew Southwest, and she was like, I'm never flying Southwest out of O'Hare again. She's like, you have to walk forever to get, like, and I was like, that is exactly what I was saying. Like,
hey man, I'm all about getting those steps.
Yeah, but dude, you'd have to plan pretty ahead of time to get there. And like, so when we had gotten there with enough time, and we were with Becca's family, and they're like, let's go get food. So they wanted to eat first, and I'm like, let's just go to the gate, like whatever. So we sat, they ate. Like, all right, let's go. None of us had realized it was probably a 15-minute walk to get
Jesus
to the
Christ.
gate.
Okay,
like,
so that I can see.
Yeah.
Like that's a long walk.
When you're trying to plan like getting to your gate from like the just past security where the food court is.
Yeah.
But also go past the food court. There is a Frontera past the food court.
Keep going
towards the higher gates.
I always try and walk past the first restaurants and food courts to see what else is available.
Although
most of the places I fly out, Goose Island's right there at the end.
Terminal 3 has Public House or Publican Meats.
When you start, I think when I fly from now on, maybe we get there like 2 hours early.
Yeah. Well,
staying
like
out.
if we go to a Great American Beer Fest this year, I'm flying American. I know that.
It's the only way to fly.
And then that way we can go use the club, free food and drinks.
Up in the club.
Yeah. So that was my vacation rant.
I drove, and I'll tell you this: we left and we drove halfway, stopped in St. Louis. St. Louis. I don't know when I'll ever need to go back to, but I did go to a really nice restaurant called. Oh fuck! I don't remember the name, but it was really good. And then getting through Missouri, you're all right, but Arkansas, man, northern Arkansas, you're fucking beautiful, like literally. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Becca was, when I told Becca you guys were going, she's like, oh, I wonder if they're going to go through like southern Missouri. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, they're staying in St. Louis for the night. And she's like, oh, they're going through southern Missouri.
Yeah. We stayed in St. Louis. We stayed downtown. I didn't know much about St. Louis. I will say this.
Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah, we did drive by there. I will say this. Everybody that we saw walking around, they had a pit bull. Didn't matter your race, creed, nationality, sex, orientation, whatever. Everybody was walking around with a fucking pit bull.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was very interesting. Okay. My wife, we were across from a church that was really cool. Like from our room, we could see these gargoyles. It was super cool.
Nice.
The room was nice. The bed was a little uncomfortable. The breakfast was horrible. I forget the name. Where did we stay? It was a Hilton of some sort, but one of the newer ones.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I'd say the other ones, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, we're fans of Hilton. Hilton, you can sponsor us if you like, except for that St. Louis one.
I'm a diamond member.
But driving back was awesome because I drove straight through, baby. We left about 10:30, got home about 9:30. The funny story that we had about that, and then we can wrap up this episode. Our first stop, we loaded up with some gas because we had to get some gas. A couple snacks. One of the coolest, it was a TA gas station. I think it was in Missouri. Huge.
Tits and ass gas station?
That's what I thought it was, but it's just TA, not T&A, unfortunately. No, I mean, fortunately, it was TA. It was really nice, really clean. Like even Laura's, like the bathrooms were really nice, and on both, it was so big that both sides were identical. So on the left side, like if you came in on one side and walked to the other side, identical. Of like here are things that are offered, like food and stuff. Except the other side had a Subway. But like the snacks were amazing. There was this thing, like this little place in the middle. I was like, what is this? Like, it looks like a little like a kiosk, but it was like a kiosk of these people making things. It was fudge.
Oh.
Laura and I already ate like shit while we were there. So we're like, we're not. By the way, our Airbnb was fantastic. She provided fucking snacks for us. Nice. Coffee, waters, carbonated water. That's why I say water. Oatmeal, popcorn, Klondike bars, Snicker ice cream bars, ice cream cups. It was really cool. She had a Roku. She was signed into her Apple TV, so I didn't have to sign into mine, which was very nice. So I could watch Ted Lasso. It was really nice. But anyways, so they had this fudge, and we're like, man, it's crazy. And we talked to them when we were checking out with the snacks we were getting for the rest of the ride. I had said, how do you work across from a place where they're making fudge all day long? She's like, it's really tough. It's really tough. She's like, the food here is pretty good too. And I'm like, it's gas station food. And as I didn't say that to her, but as we're leaving, I look over because it's right near where she's at. Mm-hmm. There was like roller dogs and stuff like that. And then there was like this giant thing of like fried chicken. And the fried chicken looked good. It didn't look like little like measly. Like this looks like they had like, they're out back or there's a kitchen in the back and they're just deep frying chicken all day. And the thing that stood out to me were the mashed potatoes because it looked like homemade mashed potatoes were just made like a little. This was like 1 in the afternoon, maybe 2 in the afternoon. It looked like fresh, like made mashed potatoes. Like they weren't translucent like KFC fast food fucking or instant mashed potatoes. It would look like someone like made fresh mashed potatoes here in this. So I was like, we should get this. But we didn't. Anyways, that was it. And then we just drove all the way straight through. One more stop. And I had made the mistake of talking about McDonald's at one point. I don't really like McDonald's. The only time anybody that I know, being me and my wife, like McDonald's if we had some drinks and we've been out. And that's what we're going to have. She likes a 2 cheeseburger meal with some sweet and sour sauce for her fries. And that's what we do. And she was like, you know what? The next McDonald's, let's stop. And I was like, well, we need gas. And so we happened to see McDonald's. Like, I don't see a gas sign. And then we did see a gas sign. I'm like, should we keep going or should we stop here? Because I wanted to get something
Yeah.
else. I mean, I wasn't trying to get anything healthy. I just wanted a different fast food.
Yeah.
Let's just go here. Okay. We ordered at 6:04 in this McDonald's. We get inside. We gas up, go to the bathroom. Ordered at 6:04. We got our food at 6:28.
What?
And there were so many people behind us. It was insane. Like, these kids were running the show, and I felt bad for them, but it was just insane, absolutely insane. And then it was terrible because McDonald's is terrible, and like the food sucked, and I hate it. And the fries though, hot and fresh.
Yeah.
Burger, fucking gross.
Yeah, there's been occasion, like most of the time, Becca will be like, hey, let's go to McDonald's and get dinner or whatever.
That's different though because you guys have a kid, and it's a
do.
lot easier to go and do.
So I know I usually don't get anything.
Sure.
I get a Diet Coke and that's it.
Or I'll get chicken nuggets.
I don't do that.
What a loser!
I'm not a 2-year-old.
Fucking hate you.
No, I mean I just don't get it.
Fine. I get
I
it.
do get their breakfast, dude. I can get down to McDonald's
Let's
breakfast.
not talk about that because that's like my fucking kryptonite.
And now that the fucking steak is back, dude.
What?
Oh,
I don't even know. I actually never had that, but I don't even know anything else about their
dude,
breakfast.
the
I'm trying to stay
best
away from it.
Fucking the steak egg bagel, but they have like a steak McMuffin.
My doctor, when I go
Holy
see
shit.
her, is going to tell me, stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's what
sorry.
I need somebody to tell me. But like, cause like if you have the app, dude, like
Oh, I know.
on days like if we were to hit it hard today, and tomorrow I was driving Benjamin to school, it would be a McDonald's stop. It'd be a large
For
Diet
sure.
Coke, and I'd get the steak, egg, and cheese either
Bagel?
biscuit or bagel.
Yeah.
And then you get another one for $1. And I save the other one for another day. But
See, I can't
$1.
do that. I can't do that because I've done the breakfast when we've.
I just look at the calories and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that.
I don't. I can't look at. You know what I do when I do that though? Like, say we've done podcasts before. Where the next morning it was like, I'm stopping at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they do the buy one get one for $1.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So I'll do that. And there's been times where like I'll grab both sandwiches. Like I'll do bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit and a sausage and muffin with egg and cheese. And I'll eat one, and then I go to work and I give it to somebody else. I go, here you go. But on those rare times, rare times, when I happen to maybe eat both, I do not eat lunch that day or anything else.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water, and then I have a very light dinner because that is so many calories.
Yeah.
I'm very guilty of doing that a few times.
What I was this before I got sidetracked.
This is why I don't like being in pictures
by
anymore.
the breakfast thing.
Sorry.
My Becca gets down on the fucking fish sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had the fish sandwich.
She like loves it.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I did have
I
Taco
think I've had it
Bell.
once, and I was like, it's okay.
I did have one like crunch wrap, not crunch wrap. What is it from Taco Bell? Where it's the hard shell, soft shell on the outside with the cheese in the middle to keep it together.
Oh god, Crunchwrap Supreme.
No, that's
Crunchwrap.
I don't know.
Oh yes, just the taco or
yeah,
it's the taco with
it's
the
the taco and then the soft
Crunchwrap.
shell.
Yeah.
No, the crunch wrap
No,
is
not
with the
crunch
flour.
wrap.
Yeah. Cheesy crunch
Yeah, whatever.
something.
I know what
taco.
you're talking about, though.
I had one of those after the breweries.
If anyone's been to a Taco Bell, they know.
By the way, I remember when I made it. Spaghetti and Italian sausage. That was the dinner that I made
Nice.
the night after the brewery.
I went to Taco Bell on Saturday after going to Pat's
I love that.
bachelor party. I had to get up with Benjamin in the morning, like super early, to take him to go to Wrigley Field. So it was like 1:40, and they were still out, and I was in Stone Park.
Oof.
I was like, I gotta go. And then I was just driving back, and I was like, we had gone to dinner. We'd gone to Pequod's for dinner.
Yeah. No, you don't have to explain that.
Yeah.
You're going out to dinner, then you're hanging out with friends and
Yeah.
everything. There's still like you're already awake, you're tired,
Yeah.
and you're still gonna go to sleep, but you want that last snack.
The best thing about it though was I drank.
When did we become a food podcast, Brandon?
I drank half the Diet Mountain Dew that I had bought, and left it in my car. And then me and Benjamin left early, and the next morning I didn't have time to grab a coffee. I was like, yes.
All that caffeine still. Thank God. I feel the sneeze coming out.
Well, that wraps up this vacation
Yeah,
episode.
that was good. I'm glad we covered all that. And you know, I am looking forward to when we do a full food episode where we just do. We're not talking about beer. We're just gonna do food. That's gonna happen at some point.
I mean, when the weather's nice. The weather's nice now, so I think like when we have time, like in the summer, I definitely want to do like a night where we grill.
Yeah, we gotta make time.
And then just eat wings and
I'm okay.
so you hear a lot of
Oh, these wings are so good. ASMR.
excuse me while I choke on the bone.
That's a different podcast. All right. This is part one. We'll have a part two at some point, or just randomly throw them in at some Boy, so we got some more vacation beers. We got Dan's beers, and one day Clark might be on the show. I don't know anymore.
You been on it all this year? Once?
I don't think so. Clark, have you been on it all this year?
Nobody knows.
Text me when you hear this. Brandon, love you, buddy.
Love you too, bud.
And everybody, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cheers.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.